Hey guys, it's Raul again, and today I'll be bringing you my monthly recommendations for the month of July. So monthly recommendations, as usual, is a Goodreads group created by Trina from Between Chapters and Kayla from the channel Kayla Rain. I will link all of the pertinent information down below. So for the month of July, the topic is our favorite auto-buy authors. So for me, I'm interpreting this kind of as auto-buy / auto-read authors because some of these authors I don't own all of the books for, and I unfortunately cannot go out and buy their books as they come out, but they are authors that I definitely want to try and read all of their works if I can, and anything that they come out with I'm probably going to end up picking up eventually at some point and reading. So they're all auto-buy / auto-read authors. The first author I have on this list is Rae Carson. I've read the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy and absolutely adored it. I've talked about it on this channel before, and I know she has her Gold Seer trilogy, I think that's what it's called, and I definitely want to read that because I also heard fantastic things about that one. But Rae Carson is just absolutely amazing. She's an incredible writer. She writes great, very descriptive and beautiful fantasy that I absolutely love. Girl of Fire and Thorns is one of my favorite fantasy trilogies that I've ever read, and I adored it, and I definitely want to read anything Rae Carson comes out with from now on. And the next author I have is probably going to be on a lot of people's lists. That is Rainbow Rowell. I've read, I think, 3 or 4 books of hers before, Fangirl and Eleanor and Park being 2 of my favorites of hers, but I really, really enjoy Rainbow Rowell. I love her writing, I love her characters, I love the way she kind of like crafts these stories and just makes these wonderful characters that you absolutely end up falling in love with. And I definitely want to read anything Rainbow Rowell comes out with. And the next author is one of my favorite authors of all time, and that is Dean Koontz. I have read, I think last time I checked it was 21 or 22 of his books, but he has written an insane amount of books. So it is one of my life goals to try and get through as many of his books as possible because I'm probably not going to be able to catch up. Like, he comes out with stuff all the time, at least 1 or 2 major releases every year. He writes a lot, so it's kind of hard to keep up with this author, and he's got a ton of books that he's written in the past and that I haven't been able to read because he has come out with a lot of things. I'm probably going to do research and see how many books Dean Koontz has actually written, but he's definitely an author that I want to keep reading, that I want to keep checking out, and eventually kind of try and go through a lot of his backlisted stuff that I haven't checked out. And yeah, I mean, he definitely had to make this list because he is one of my favorite authors of all time. The next author is probably the guilty pleasure of this list, and that is Stephenie Meyer. I've read, I think, all of her books at this point. I think these are all of her books. Twilight series and The Host and The Chemist I just recently finished. Yeah, like this is the author that I feel a lot of people don't really enjoy a lot of her stuff, but this is the one author that I feel from this list is the one that I'm kind of like rooting for the most. Because her stuff isn't as great as other authors, I want to keep reading her books and picking up her stuff as they come out because number one, Twilight series has like a lot of meaningful memories and stuff in my life, but I'm kind of rooting for her to write something amazing, and I keep wanting for her to write something amazing. And The Host is pretty awesome. I kind of want her to finally write something kind of on par with The Host, if not better, because I think that's her favorite of mine was The Host. Chemist was, okay, I won't talk about it in this video. But either way, yeah, Stephenie Meyer is an auto-buy author for me. I definitely want to read anything and everything she comes out with, just because, like I said, I'm kind of like hoping she writes something amazing. And the next author is probably going to come to no surprise, but that is Leigh Bardugo. I've read the Goodreads trilogy, I've read the Six of Crows duology, and I definitely want to read anything and everything else she comes out with. This was a no-brainer. She had to make my list. She's absolutely fantastic. I love her writing. I love her characters. Everything that she does within her books is just absolutely fantastic, and there was no way I was leaving her out of this list. The next 2 authors I have on this list are actually indie authors, the first one being D.E. Night. I have already read and reviewed this book. I will link a review down below, but I've absolutely adored this book so much. At this point, I'm going to read anything D.E. Night comes out with. Anything she comes out with within this series of Crosswalk, anything that she writes after this, I will definitely go and pick up because if it's anything like this book, I'm going to love it. And the next indie author I have is Kristen Martin. I've also read and reviewed this trilogy, which I will also link down below for you guys, but I'm super excited about her new series. She's writing a new dark fantasy series about this like female assassin, and I have high hopes for it because a lot of people have written stuff about female assassins where they don't really kill people and that kind of thing that people kind of tend to complain about, but I have high hopes for her new series that she's coming out with. It's like 6 or 7 books long. I'm super excited for that one. I definitely am going to end up picking up anything and everything she also writes. And then I have an honorable mention on this list just because this author has only come out with 2 books and I've only read 1 out of the 2 books, but I have a feeling that I'm really going to enjoy the other book that I have of hers that I haven't read, and that is Emily Henry. I've absolutely loved and adored A Million Junes. If you guys haven't seen my review, I'll definitely also link that down below. This is one of my favorite books of the year. I absolutely adored it. And then she also wrote The Love That Split the World that came out last year that has a lot of mixed reviews, but from what I've heard, I feel like I'm really going to enjoy it. After reading A Million Junes, I feel like I'm going to enjoy the content and the story in The Love That Split the World. Maybe not as much as A Million Junes, but I'm probably still going to end up enjoying it. And once I read The Love That Split the World, I will know for sure whether or not she's staying on this list. So yeah, guys, that is it for my favorite auto-buy/auto-read authors. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite auto-buy authors are. Thank you guys all again for watching, and I will see you all next time.